I've been playing the new Brushes of Death DLC for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, along with the Horse Racing Edition, so today we'll cover everything you need to know about the DLC, plus some quick review thoughts and the free update. Let's go! Starting the DLC is pretty easy, and you will know once you can start it, as there'll be a brand new icon on your map to indicate where the DLC actually begins. Now, to start it, you will need to have completed the For Whom the Bell Tolls quest, and then just near Trotsky Castle, just sort of to the south of it, you'll see that new icon on your map. Getting close to this location will automatically start like the initial quest introduction cutscene, and then from there, you're off to the races. In case you've forgotten, if you're in the Kuttenberg region, you can travel back to the Trotsky region via the wagon to the west of Suckdale. Talk to the coachman at this location and pay 200 gold to travel you back to the Trotsky region. And then once you're here, you'll be able to travel up and start this quest line. Now, once you've completed the Trotsky region portion of the quest, you'll then need to meet the painter again in Kuttenberg. His shop is found near the fountain in the Kuttenberg city. You will see it again because you'll have that same DLC marker on your map in order to start the next part of the quest chain. Now, shield painting is one of the new additions with this DLC. Now, after you've completed the first quest of the DLC, from then afterwards, you'll be able to paint any shield by talking to the painter, but keep in mind if he does move from Trotsky to Kuttenberg, you'll have to go to Kuttenberg in order to do this. So from that point onwards, you'll be able to paint any shield with this selection of designs. Now, you can also remove any previous paintings if you want it to go back to its original, like actual layout. If you're looking for shields to buy, typically carpenters in the Trotsky region will sell them to you, or any of the weapon and armor shops in Kuttenberg. New designs are unlocked by completing quests and other activities in the game. There are a few of these already that you'll just start with, and then as you progress through the DLC and then just progressing through the game as well, you'll unlock more of these designs that you can actually paint onto your shield. This is quite like a fun little addition for like cosmetic purposes. I did consider making a full video on the shield painting side of things, but I don't think there's enough here to warrant it, besides like it being just like a nice cosmetic thing that you can play around with to have like something that makes sense for your Henry to have on their shield rather than just, you know, picking up all the random shields that you find throughout the world. So is the DLC worth it? There's a lot of interesting quest design that feels very true to Kingdom Come Deliverance. That certain level of humor and the absurd requests that you get from NPCs and quest objectives is all here, and it's definitely good content. There's a solid mystery about the painter's origins and what's happening with him as he's trying to create his magnum opus and be remembered as one of the great painters, which is the battle that he's struggling with. You'll do all the typical Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 stuff, like you'll do some alchemy, you'll do some dice rolling, you'll do some archery competitions, you'll obviously fight bandits, blacksmithing, all of the activities that you enjoy about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 with interesting characters and solid writing is all here as part of that core storyline that it's going to take you through. Now, there is some choices to make throughout this storyline as well as how you choose to complete these objectives. I did go back a couple of times on my saves to try different things and see if the outcomes are different, and they do change. There's different dialogue and things that can happen depending on the decisions you make. So there is a bit of flexibility and replayability in this DLC as well if, say, you do it on different or multiple playthroughs. It is short though, and the shield painting is the only real like long-term addition after you've completed these quest lines. Now, interestingly, just something I noticed is that there is seemingly a subtle tie to the Setlat's Monastery DLC that we may be getting. I won't say anything more than that, but it's just something that I found interesting as I did hear that name pop up, and obviously that's the last DLC we're getting for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, if you're wondering about new equipment, there is new equipment in the DLC. Plus, it does seem like there's new shields from these vendors. Like they have some updated designs you can just buy from them as well. There's a unique helmet. Well, there's two actually, a unique Curious and a Waven Rock, as well as a sword that you can craft. So if that's your thing, there are plenty of options, and you'll just get these as part of the storyline. There isn't anything specific that you need to do in order to unlock these. I will say though that some of these quests do feel like they have a little bit of busy work in them before you get to the good stuff. Like there's a couple of quests where it's like, hey, can you collect me like 5 eggs, 3 torches, a certain type of helmet, like go and do this stuff, which just kind of feels like busy work to extend that length out a little bit because this is a relatively short DLC. which is fine. Like, there's not so many of these that I was just like over it while I was playing the DLC. But when you're doing these quests back to back to back to back, which I did for the purpose of making this video, and I imagine anyone that's jumping into the DLC day one probably will be doing these quests back to back, you do get a little bit of that fatigue when you're just being asked to go and collect a bunch of stuff. And then, that then leads into the really interesting stuff, which is worthwhile. So the payoff there is good, but there is a little bit of element of fatigue when you're just doing some of the busy work in between, like the bigger set pieces as part of this quest line. But if you plan to do this quest line just as part of your normal gameplay while mixing it up with other quests, I don't feel like you'll feel that fatigue. It'll just be part of that natural progression rather than just pushing yourself through doing all of these quests all at once. I'm working on a full video for the horse racing and the mounted archery editions, but just from a free update perspective, there is some pretty big changes in this base game as well. The new races come with a short quest line that you'll need to dissolve a dispute between the mounted archery and the racing organizers, which gives you a good excuse to spend time doing both. I actually really enjoyed the mounted archery, which I didn't think I would. The harder competitions are legit hard with obstacles you need to steer your horse around, and the racing was kind of a little bit of a letdown, actually. So basically, you have checkpoints here that you need to reach around the Trotsky region, and you can get there by any means necessary. You can go full cross-country or however you like. The minor problem with this is that you don't often see the other racing competitors because you're all taking different routes to those checkpoints. So you don't often know if you're in front or you're coming last, or even how the race is actually progressing. So it often feels like you're just zooming around the Trotsky region on your horse for no reason. They are fun side activities nonetheless, and that's sort of the key point here, is that these are just fun side activities like all the other, dice rolling and archery competitions and things that are in the game. It doesn't appear that this is all that's in this patch. Like, obviously we did get the dev stream where they talked about these new tweaks and additions that are coming. Late game combat definitely seems to be harder, though maybe I'm just bad because I've been away from the game for a while. The economy has for sure been changed, like they spoke about in that live stream. It's hard to gauge exactly how worthwhile these changes are without doing a full playthrough to see how the economy and the combat progresses through the Kuttenberg region. So if you don't know, and we don't have the specifics here because they haven't provided the patch notes for this early review build, but boop, editing NorZZa here. I just wanted to point out that I was actually able to get a copy of the patch notes and just to read out these changes to you specifically, but it doesn't actually give you any of the combat numbers. So rebalance the difficulty of enemies to make Kuttenberg region a bit more challenging, adjust the difficulty of bandits at various points of interest, improved diversification in shops, clothing, armor, and shoes, and improved the diversity of goods at blacksmiths and swordsmiths in the Kuttenberg region, and increased the shop prices of Kuttenberg, plus increased the difficulty of robbing merchants. There's a whole bunch of other stuff in these patch notes, but nothing that I specifically wanted to call out, but I did just want to mention it here and thank PlayOn for actually sending me these patch notes early so we could have a bit of a cheeky look at them. Basically, they've changed all of the economy in the Kuttenberg region as well as the enemies. So the enemies you fight will no longer have some of that higher tier armor that you can then just sell to all the vendors, essentially breaking the Groschen progression, and all the armor that you can purchase in the Kuttenberg, like the higher tier levels of the armor, are significantly more expensive, up to like 8,000, 9,000 Groschen now. So that progression, once you hit Kuttenberg, you don't sort of just run into a random group of bandits, find completely massive gear upgrades, put them on, and then never take them off again. So you'll actually sort of feel that progression path through the Kuttenberg region as you slowly get the higher tier of gear rather than just get that very, very quickly. I'm sure there's some other things that we don't know about yet, like some secrets and things that are hidden in this patch, and I'm excited to actually see the patch notes and delve into what's actually changed. But overall thoughts, this is a great first DLC and the free update that comes along with it, but mainly the DLC for the expansion pass. Albeit short, it doubles down on the best aspects of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 whilst adding some new additions to tinker with, and I would recommend picking up the expansion pass and checking it out, especially as there is more to come. We have that Blacksmith DLC next, and then the Setlat's Monastery one after that. Warhorse Studios have always shown great quality with their DLCs, especially with Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, and this is definitely a great start here to the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 post-launch support with the paid content that is now available. Let me know in the comments if you're going to check out this free update and the DLC, and if you want a guide for the shield painting stuff. But thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members, especially the new members: Christian Harder, Charlie, Dead, Toucan, Naya, Wyatt, Roadcap, Phantom 115. Thank you guys for joining the membership program, and my name is NorZZa, and I hope you have a great day.